Well, I hope. Yes. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Eurovision Hangout episode 14. Episode, I think somebody might be playing the Hangout on playback. It's echoing, so reactors, just check your devices in case it's playing back, because you can hear it echoing. But welcome to the Hangout, everybody. As you can see, we have a very, very special guest. Gjon from Switzerland, our Eurovision Hub Scoreboard winner. Let's show him some love. Show him some love in the chat. Hello, you're so welcome.
Thank you for having me.
No. I'm joining us on our Hangout. I mean, we have a Eurovision Hub 2020 scoreboard winner here, guys. Yes. Voted the winner by, well, the reactors vote and the public vote. So thanks for coming on.
Oh,
that's crazy. I mean, thank you very much for your support, and I'm really happy that all the people who voted liked the song. And yes,
yeah.
Loving the energy. So, like, when we announced that you were coming on our Hangout, like, Twitter went crazy, Instagram went crazy. It's been so hard to keep up with all the questions. I'm not gonna lie. So, but this is what I want to say to the chat. If you guys have any questions, just type it in. We're gonna keep an eye on the chat. We'll get asking the questions. But I think Sandra is gonna kick everything off. Let's go.
Yes. Are you ready for the test? Are you ready for the exam, Gjon?
I just try. I will try, and I hope I will be good.
You'll be amazing. You'll be amazing. So, I mean, let me just start off by saying that you were my absolute winner this year. You had my 12 points, you had my million points, you had my, you know, if I could give you billions and billions of points, I would give you. Okay?
Oh, that's so cute. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your beautiful song. And I'm just crushed that you could not win Eurovision this year, but I'm sure you will win Eurovision next year, because I am absolutely convinced. So let's start off by me asking you if you were a winner of Eurovision prior to actually being selected.
So sorry, can you repeat? I was like so touched by all your
I'm sorry.
speech.
I'm too much sometimes. I know.
No, that was really
soccer vibes.
That was Sincerity, and that's the most important thing. So thank you.
So were you a Eurovision fan prior to being selected to represent Switzerland?
Actually, I first discovered Eurovision when I was like in 2011, something like this, and I was just amazed by the lights and the staging and all those things, and I was dreaming. You know, I was a little kid, and I was like, oh my god, one day. And I don't know why, but like I really imagined myself with the trophy. Like I knew that one day I was like with the trophy, and I was like, oh, and you know, but like I imagine me when I was kid, I was like this, and like so beautiful pictures that stayed in my mind. But after this year, I had so other stuff to do, like other shows, so I honestly forgot to really follow the Eurovision Song Contest, and I also never thought about doing it because I just thought that it was too high for me. Like, you know, and so I worked, I mean, so much, and so when I did so I'm gonna explain you what happened with the song. But when I finished The Voice last year in France, in the semifinals, I received Instagram demands from Swiss Duet, and they asked me to take part of a camp, but they didn't actually tell me what it was about. And then when I went there, it was maybe 10 p.m. and they told me, okay, I never saw them, and I was like, they told me, okay, it's for Eurovision. I was like,
Whoa.
what happened? I'm like, really? And they told me, but don't be afraid. Like, like you're not forced to apply the song if you don't want. And so at 10 a.m. the next day, I have some piano ideas, and then we started at 10 a.m. and at 4 p.m. we finished the song. And I was like, oh. I'm not sure if I want to go there because I have to risk again, because when I was in The Voice, it's also when you make a TV performance, it's not the same at all that, as when you make a live performance with a public. So, I mean, of course, in TV you have the public, but it's not the same at all because if you do something wrong in a live performance, you can really experience things. On TV, it's not possible. You have to be really tight, and it has to be really clean, not just the voice, but everything. So I was like, oh my god, do I really want to risk again? So I was like, not so sure. But at the end, like maybe 3 days before before the end application, I just applied the song, and I was like, we will see. But honestly, I was so. I just thought that it would be impossible because the song wasn't at all like in the Eurovision format. I mean, like it's not a pop song, it's not a radio song, it's not a really calm song because I mean it's not just piano and voice. There are also drums, but it's like in middle of a lot of genre and type. So and that's what I really wanted because for me this song is like when you're crying or imagine that you just know that someone die, someone you're for example crying for I don't know 10-30 minutes, but after you have always those 5 minutes where you're just empty and you're in between a lot of words. And so I really wanted that this feeling was transmitted in the song. I didn't want just like a love song like I'm again heartbroken. I just wanted like to feel like I'm lost and in between a lot of galaxy, like the oh my god, I'm gonna spoil, like the end of Interstellar. If you haven't seen it, you have like this feeling where you're lost, and that's just what I wanted to transmit.
And you did it beautifully, I have to say.
Thank
That's such a great. Um, One of my questions was going to be like, what was behind Répondez-moi? I'm sorry for my French.
No, it's
Like,
perfect.
what was the idea? And so, I mean, you already explained it, and that's. I think that is conveyed beautifully in those 3 minutes. And oh man, I'm so sorry you couldn't do it on the stage. And the most important thing is first and foremost the song and the performer itself. So whether it's on TV or not, whether it's perfect, like the performance, whether it's clean or not, I mean that I think it's secondary. And I mean, look at 2017. Have you seen the Portuguese winner?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it was like even your live performance of the song, I mean that was a winner right there. I mean, winning performance right there. So yeah,
Well,
well,
I
It's
honestly
safe to say that you have a fan from North Macedonia. You
I
didn't
think I'm 100 fans worth.
You
No,
I love
actually, from like when I knew that I'm gonna take part of Eurovision 2020 for Switzerland, I took the time to check some Eurovision songs and like also the winners. But when I was, for example, in Portugal for holiday, I heard the song and I was like, oh my god, that's a beautiful song. And
Right?
then I saw and then I saw that it was in Eurovision. I was like, oh, okay. And then I checked maybe all the 3 or 4 years, the last years, and I was like, oh, okay, crazy. And I mean, what the winner have in common is just they are really sincere, and like if you want to win, you just have to be yourself, and so maybe that's why people really like the song, because I didn't try to make a, a radio song, a Eurovision song. I just tried to make a song, but also because I wasn't sure to represent this song for the Eurovision, and then when it was finished, I just told myself, okay, it's just the biggest occasion I can I will have in my life. Sorry, and yeah, so that's why I apply, and I'm so like, wow. When I knew that, I was like shaking. And the first reaction I've had when the delegation called me, I said, okay, okay, and I hang up the phone and I directly go to the piano, and I was like working on the song for maybe 3 or 4 hours, and then champagne. But first, I was like so scared, because I was like, okay, now it's me. Oh my god, I have to really do it well. Okay, let's go, let's work, and like, yeah.
What you said about being sincere and being yourself. I'm sorry, Katie, just a moment. That's what I always say. Like, always the winner has some. It's about being genuine, and that's immediately when I hear a winner. I hear truth, sincerity in the song itself, and also the performance. I mean, even if it's a studio version. And what your song demonstrated to me, at least, was that truth, sincerity. It's just you and your thoughts, and that's what you brought to it. I'm sorry, I'm embarrassing you all the time, but I'm gonna
No.
tone it down. I'm gonna try to tone it down. Sorry,
No,
Katie, you had something you wanted to say?
I was going to say pretty much the same thing, that basically I think we've all said at some point that our favourite songs, or our often the winning songs, are often singer-songwriters. They have personally invested in the song themselves, and that's what makes them winning songs, that they are emotionally connected to the song, and that's what makes the best songs.
Yeah, and they weren't created especially for Eurovision. Like, we have to make a Eurovision song because there is no typical Eurovision song. So
Yeah.
I think the more authentic, the more believable, therefore better results. Yeah.
Those songs that are simply written to be a good quality song. It doesn't matter if they're a bop, it doesn't matter if they're a love song, it doesn't matter if it's one man and a guitar. They will always be the best. So
yeah, exactly. Like, the songs that are made for points or for radio, it's transparent. Yeah, or for Eurovision, or their Eurovision songs, they're transparent. Like, you can see through that. It doesn't affect you emotionally. It doesn't grab you like that. You understand? Like your song. And I'm sure in 2021 you will come up with something as good.
Oh, don't put pressure on me, my friend.
No pressure. No pressure.
Can I
just have to say that, Cathy, I love your accent.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's like British. Like, I love this kind of accent.
No, you see where I come from in England. Most people don't like my accent.
Oh, I really like it. Oh, sorry, Louise, you wanted to tell something.
No, that's okay. Just you were speaking there about 2021, and I was wondering, do you have any idea yet with regard to language for your song? Do you think you'd like to go forward with
French?
Honestly, I'm really like, I'm a really instinctive guy, and also I really like to feel people with who I work. So of course, I have ideas, but I mean, the thing that it's different now is that before how can I say that? Before this year, I didn't know that it was me. Now I know that it's me for next year. So it's not the same when I'm in the composition. I cannot find the most important value for me, that it is innocence, and I'm looking for that. So I'm just trying to make some music on my side, not thinking about Eurovision, even if it's really hard. But like, and I, of course, I have some ideas. I have some. Honestly, I have really constructed ideas for some projects, and for some other songs I'm not sure at all. So but for the moment I don't know. I just have like, it will, honestly, it will depend. Like, for example, if I choose something more calm, I will know what language, I will know what instruments. Like, honestly, I have something, like, I have an idea for a called song. I have also an idea for a really radio song with like, it's, for the moment it's really, I have to keep the secret. So
Yeah.
but yeah, honestly, for both I have an idea. And when I heard yesterday Euphoria, I mean, what is happening? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, I just, oh my god, oh no.
What happened? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just like, oh, sorry. So, I put some water behind my computer, and it so I don't have
still.
any, and
Oh.
my computer is like really sweating now.
Oh no.
And
Oh,
I heard
no.
the sound of the rain. I was like, what is happening? Is it the new clip of Répondez-moi? What is
Yeah,
happening?
exactly.
So now I'm a little bit like, sorry.
Just say pourquoi la pluie.
Yeah, I'm really saying why now, but okay. So sorry. Yeah, I forgot the question. I forgot what I was speaking about, but
You answered it very well.
the computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just say, if anyone sees me looking down, I'm not ignoring anyone. I'm making a note of everyone's questions. Okay. So
Nice.
because otherwise they're going up in the chat and I'm losing them. So I'm making a note of questions.
John, this is gonna be a long night. A long
Nice.
night.
I'm happy.
I hope you have coffee or something to keep you, energized.
Actually, I have some water, but on the floor now. Yeah.
We go to the chat. I have a question that I want to ask you. We met Sasha Jean-Baptiste in Stockholm last month, and we found out that she was involved with her staging. And I have seen a few questions on Twitter, and I want to know, can you tell us anything that you were planning for Rotterdam? Like, can you give us a little idea, please?
And what did she tell? What did she tell you? Like like.
We want to know, what were you guys planning? If you can tell us, if you can't, it's fine. But
honestly, I mean, I'm not sure about the next song. So if we can say some ideas that we have for this performance, maybe it's better if I cannot tell them, because I mean, honestly, that's the first time I see a work from someone, and without knowing each other. Like, we spoke maybe 2 times before she made me a mood board, and we were speaking about that. And like, after our second call, she just sent me the mood board, and I was like, oh, she like understand me more than maybe some of my friends. So I was like, okay. So I mean, she did something so like that matched perfectly with me, that maybe we'll take some ideas. I know that she's a really big artist, and she really likes to make a project, and then when it's finished, let's go with another. But I really thought that there were crazy ideas, and I mean, what I can just tell you is that we didn't at all wanted to make a stage like like for a ballad. We really wanted something different, and the idea was something more arty, and we really honestly have had how can I say that, had a crazy experience, because I never danced, and she just asked me to try to dance, like to dance as I like. She just puts my song, and she asked me just to dance and to try, and like without really giving me tips or ideas, like which direction, what kind of dance, and I just danced, and like she, like, there were 3 assistants, and they were crying, and and they told me, "Oh my God, but you're also a dancer!" Oh, but and like that I was like, okay, maybe there is something that we can do with that, and so that's why it was, we have planned to do like, yeah, other stuff than just me in the mic with the mic stand, or it was, the idea was to treat the song like it was a pop song, and not at all a ballad song, but like not cheap, in a cheap way, of course, because it's Sasha and she's just wow, but with crazy ideas that I couldn't tell you, because I have told you too much tonight.
Like Hagrid from Harry Potter. Shouldn't have said that.
Isn't you guys were going to be dancing? Yes.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a dream team, and I hope you guys collaborate again for 2021. Just to prepare you for winning the competition, because I know you will win it. No matter what you bring, because I think you will be amazing anyway. So next up is how do we feel about a little musical break?
Yes.
Like now,
Okay.
you mean?
From
Oh.
who?
Like that. I mean, so let me explain. So since you've already watched Eurovision, I'm sure you're aware that there are traditions, there are certain traditions that must be upheld, and one of them is the winner sings their song. Yes, they do.
Like completely?
No.
No, just like a little bit, like 10, 20 seconds, just a little taste of it, So I'm afraid, because you're our winner, you have to sing your song, just a little bit, just a taste, maybe just a chorus.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, I just have to check.
Feel free to do your
Okay,
vocal
so
warm-ups.
if I have a good wireless, maybe if you give me a little bit of time.
No problem. Are you chat? Is the chat ready for this, for our winner, for the winner song?
Send a tear emoji in to the chat, guys.
Let's go, dude.
Let's do this.
Tears emoji.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm coming. Wait.
Take your time.
Green room from winning our scoreboard. He's making his.
He's making his way to the stage. Exactly.
Oh,
I
the
mean, we are
clap.
giving you the full experience here.
Oh my God, even the piano.
Pourquoi la pluie et les nuages aussi, et les nuages aussi? Pourquoi le soir tu t'endors dans mon lit, tu t'endors dans mon lit? Ah, pourquoi on dort loin de la famille dans un autre pays? Ah, pourquoi la mort vient après la vie, vient après la vie? J'tends ma langue au chat, répondez-moi. Oh, pas de langue à boire, Okay.
Oh my
Merci.
God.
I wasn't ready for that.
Oh,
No, no,
He really wasn't ready.
yeah.
Like,
no.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
oh
we've lost him.
no.
I,
Oh,
Dramatic
if you lost me,
Yeah.
My
Hang
like
on.
oh my
my
God, that was beautiful.
Hang on.
I suggest you go back to your keyboard because there will be other challenges.
oh really?
Yes, that was beautiful. That was stunning. That was beautiful.
my body was like covered in goosebumps. I was like, oh wow.
I was
That's
never
so
in the
cute. Thank
same
you.
room with my actual Eurovision winner, and they were actually singing their song in front of me. That was so overwhelming.
We have some
Okay,
we have some emotional people in the chat here. People are you're making people cry, Gjon. They are crying.
yes, there are so many
That's so
tears
cute.
for Gjon. So many tears for Gjon.
I saw that in Twitter there are a lot of people who are really supporting me with their names, and they add steers. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's really cute. And they are
Aw.
waiting for me on Twitter, but as I told you before the live, I'm so bad. I'm like I look like a 70 years old person, so I don't understand Twitter. I really don't
You
understand.
did
it.
pretty
Me
well.
neither.
Yeah,
Me
we'll
neither.
lesson after. We'll get you on there because I know so many people would be so happy if you join.
Yep.
So, speaking of the name, can you tell us the story behind the name? I mean, of course, I did all of my research, but for the people in the chat, I mean, hello, stalker alert. But please tell your story.
Okay, so actually, when I was younger, maybe when I was like 8, I had an exercise at school. We all had to show to the others what is our passion or hobby, and like everybody had crazy things. I mean, one girl, for example, had scuba diving. I was like, what is scuba diving? And like so much people that have interest. And I think I was a little bit like not jealous, but like I was sad because I didn't have the love that you can feel in their eyes when they were telling them their passion. And I was like, I want to have those passionate, motivated eyes too. So when I came back at home, I told my mom, I really want to do something, and she told me, yeah, I never stopped you. Like, okay,
Go ahead.
what do you want to try? So I tried karate. I tried soccer. I tried ice skating. But at the end, the really I mean the activity where I felt really something different was piano. So I started to play piano when I was 8, and my grandfather from Canada came from vacation here in Switzerland, and he saw my electronic piano, and he asked me if I can play something. And while I was playing, there were some programmed music in it, and he heard a song and he told me, oh, that's my favorite song, you have to learn for me, you have to learn it for me. And like that was Can't Help Falling in Love from Elvis Presley.
Oh,
And so I never sang before that time, and I was like, okay, but like first I never sang before, and then I don't know how to speak English, so it was crazy. And I just listened to it like all the day, and before he went home, I sang him the song, and the first reaction he had actually was crying. So those tears became so powerful for me, because I mean, I was like, oh, I'm a super. When you're a kid, you're always like cute because you have this innocence. So I was like, oh my god, I'm a superhero, I can make cry people. And I never saw my grandfather crying before that moment, so I was like,
Oh.
okay, I really made something important. I mean, like, so I felt so good and so strong that I like that I wanted to keep this in my name, in my stage name. And actually, the second reason is also because I think that tears are so representative or of any feeling, because we can cry of sadness, of happiness, of nostalgia, of and so many subtle way to cry. And so, for example, as I told you, when I was thinking about how feeling I wanted in Répondez-moi, was this after crying feeling, when you're and tears for me are really symbolic and means a lot for me and are really inspiring. I mean, sometimes I'm really like sometimes I'm really sensitive, and I'm like a lot of things touched me, and I'm like, oh, why? And I saw, for example, when I was in the Voice of France in Paris, two an Indian couple, like maybe they were 60 or 70, and they never used an escalator, the
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, that was so strong for me, because for us there are so many things that looks simple and so logical for everybody, but there are some people that don't know those logics. And so that's why I really wanted to become a singer, because, like, I mean, I can really speak about themes and things that um, are really like important for me, and maybe it's another logical than the others. I'm not telling that I'm different than everyone, but I'm just trying to speak about, for example, origin and identity in my song. And the next one, I don't know about what I'm going to speak. Maybe it will be a love song. I don't know, honestly, because it will depend on my feeling, my instinctive yeah, my instinct, and the people with who I'm going to work, if I'm working with people. But like the most important for me is like to love people, and to not to forget that uh, that everyone is crying, at least, even if it's for joy, even if it's tears of sadness, nostalgia, melancholia. But I mean, so the message with my tears in my stage name is just like we're at least we are all same. So that's why I'm really happy that people are like Dilara's tears, or with tears, and I'm like, okay, they really understood the message,
Yeah, yeah. Spoken like a true artist. He's taught. You take a small thing like tears, and then you have big concepts behind them, and find so much meaning in such a one simple thing that other people, like people that are not artists, don't see. And it's a beautiful story about your grandfather, and we all know how stoic grandfathers are, and they don't show emotions. And for you to move him to tears and then take that as your artistic identity, is just a beautiful story. It's a song in itself. Right?
Maybe next year.
So speaking of father figures and grandfathers, I also listened to your other song, Babi. So can you tell us the story about that song? And so is it about your father or a father figure? Like what's going on there? It's a beautiful song, everybody. If you haven't heard it, please go ahead and listen to it. It's beautiful.
Go on, Sandra.
Actually, it's rare that when I'm composing a song, I keep the first idea of the song. I mean, for example, I compose a song for something, and then the lyrics speak about something else, because I love the fact that I can really keep the secret of the song, and I can really also, like, when I'm singing the song, I know why I'm singing this song, you know. And so Babi, it's like something inspired, but not by my personal life. I mean, it speaks about the relation between a father and his son, and uh, like I just wanted to tell in this song that even if the father in the story has made so much bad things, uh, for example, he's drunk all the time. He doesn't love, like he doesn't show to her his son that he loves him. Like a really tension story, but at least that's the most beautiful thing is that the son, even if he didn't feel guilty, because honestly he didn't do anything, he just tried to to show his love to his parent, but the father couldn't see it. He also go to um, forgive, like he say sorry dad, but at least it's not him fault. So I think that this situation is like, I like the humility behind the boy who just tell to his father, whatever you made me, whatever you told me, I just love you, and that's my role. I mean, you gave me you gave me the um, you gave me life, my heart, because you made me. And I have also my role, and my role is to love you forever, whatever happened. So it was important to speak about that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, super positive things.
Yeah, no, it is beautiful, and even that song. I mean, even that song could have done well in Eurovision. I could totally see it. Have you guys heard it?
The chat is going wild. It's
Yeah.
About
that.
Yeah.
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 Do you want to read out some of the questions from the chat? I'm the same as you, just watching it, going crazy. They just want.
I can't. And to be honest, I haven't got everyone's name, so I apologize. And some people repeated the same question. So let's start with I think this is the easiest one. So we've got, what's your favorite 2020 Eurovision song?
Ooh.
Ooh. Wait, I just try to. Baby, I can't wait too long. When you don't think about things, believe me. Crazy song.
Yeah.
That was actually my second musical challenge. So you already did it.
I really have two favorite songs. I'm just trying, I don't know the chord, but don't break me. Don't break me down, 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 down. Don't break me. I need you now, 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 now. Crazy song also.
Yeah.
I love
Montagne
those
is
two
also
songs.
confirmed to go next year. You can meet her.
So, what did you say? Sorry.
Sorry, I was just saying Montaigne is also confirmed to go next year, so you can meet her.
Yeah, I saw that. I also I spoke with her in Instagram. She's really nice, and I really love the song. And sometimes for me, I doesn't need so much. Honestly, I sometimes just need 2 seconds in a song, or just a noise, or just a sound, something that wow. And when she goes up and she's really smooth, it reminds me a little bit Evanescence. And those kind of voices. And I mean, there is maybe a pop song like this, and she made always and then direct, and she always came at the end with the pop song, but they are so inspired things in the pop song, so it always make like this, and I'm like, oh, and the build up of Think About Things is like, wow. Like, I'm always like, when the song went out, I was like, okay, let's go home. I really like the song. I mean, like, that's a crazy song, and also I like I mean, it's easier to connect with a funny song because, like, I mean, you have something to like in this. It's easier to be in a bad mood than in a good mood, because like there are so many things like medias and a lot of things that pushes bad stories, and like, like maybe we have just one paper in a year, like Prince William is married or something like this, but then there are no good news, always like always like bad news. So it's so good to have those kind of songs that makes you feel happy, and we need that. And so I think that they really did it like really well.
Or news like Gjon's coming back for 2021. Yeah. So that's also good news.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy.
um, so so about the voice. One of my favorite performances, and it's beautiful. If you guys in the chat haven't seen it, go and see it. Of him, my favorite performance is Rocket Man. So
Okay.
my question connected to this, also stalker alert, is where do you draw your inspiration from, and which artists have shaped you as a musician?
Okay, so for Rocket Man, there is a little story, but because I'm worse than my grandma, I always speak a lot when I want to try a story. So I want to tell a story. So I try to be short this time, shorter. So yeah. So with Rocket Man, I think when I had to choose the song, I wasn't prepared for Rocket Man. I was like, oh, when you hear the original version, you're like, you know, I don't know why, but I don't feeling Elton John like really in a crazy way. I like his work, of course, but I'm not like, oh my god, that reveals me so much things in me. So when I heard the song, I was like, oh, but this song is so crazy because it's him. It's him. Like, it's him voice. It's like it's his voice. It's yeah, it's just him, and the everything, like the word of him. So how can I sing that song? And when I tried to sing the song, Mika told me, no, don't try to make something, just rest on the line. And so I was singing the song, but like Elton John, and I was like, but I'm not Elton John, and I'm not as good. I'm not as like, he made the song for that, and for like for himself. He didn't compose the song for anybody else. So I was like, so a little bit it was hard because I was expecting that I could arrange the song for me, or and okay, I accept the exercise. I was like, okay, so I cannot change it. Okay, let's do like him. I tried, and then you have just 2 days to do it, and then you know the song, and then 2 days of working, and then you sing on live. So that's a crazy exercise because I didn't know the song. I didn't honestly know Rocket Man. And then when I sang the song, I don't know why, but I just felt like I'm the biggest, I'm the most powerful person in this world. I felt so like I want to do whatever I want, and just and like everything that everybody told me about, please don't be like this, don't be like this, just try to focus. Just like I was like, I don't give a, and I just was focused on the song, and I just did it like I really wanted to do. And at least people really felt that, like they told me, oh my god, those high notes, but those high notes are not in the song and were not on the version I had to do, but I just wanted to do as, and like at that moment I felt those notes, so that's why I did it. And like I just wanted to do it like, yeah, but like, and I think that's the same, and that's what's inspired me the most, like people who doesn't matter about what people will think about. So for example, I'm in love, but like I'm in love with the word of Grace Jones. I mean, like when I saw her live in the Jubilee of the Queen, like she's 63 years old, she's almost naked, she's making hula hoop in her song "Slave to the Rhythm," and wow, she's just like, it's not maybe the best singer of the world, of course, because like technically there are better, like of course, like it's Beyonce, like crazy, but I mean she's so powerful, and she assumes so herself. Then she has sing, for example, she had sung with Pavarotti. Like, like that's so crazy when you really know who you are, and when you can give and share something. I mean, you're a real artist. It's not just trying to make music, to make something in your room. And like, I think when you're ready to show to people, when you are an emergency in your voice, that's the most important thing. And I really felt that to her, because at least for me, she's not a singer at all. She's an artist, because she's a model. She's like she's a singer. She's a piece of heart alive. And like, yeah, that's just crazy. And she's not a composer, because at the end, her most her most famous song are like, she took and she made something else, like La Vie en Rose d'Edith Piaf, like Libertango, like that are those songs that are already composed, but she made crazy stuff with that. And I love that. I love that, the fact that she understood that being an artist is not at all creating, but is recreating. Because creating, you cannot create something, it's also everything was done. I mean, really. And when I see, it's interesting, always, just next time when you really like an artist, please trying to understand and to really heard everything else than the voice, for example. And you hear it, and you're like, oh my god, and you understand things, and you're like, oh my god. But there is an artist that sings really calm, also, like for example Billie Eilish, now in the 30s. And like, you're like, oh. And like, it, when you're just interested, you can see that everything exists. But the process of recreating, and I mean, when it's someone else, of course it's different, it's always different. And so I mean, yeah, so Grace Jones, the musical intelligence of David Bowie, the prestance, like the I don't know how to say that, but like the power of Queen, the sounds of Aurora. Oh my god, what a voice! Like the Norway sounds, like those. But for example, I also really love Solveig. I like those kind of typical sounds, like yeah, those technically, like those voice type of voices, like that are in mixed voices, and with struggling, and like it's really beautiful. So I mean, I love everything, and everything inspires me. And I think that most things that inspired me are things that I maybe didn't like at the beginning. For example, I wasn't so in love with metal music, and I was supposed to be a teacher first, and then so I made some stage. I don't know how to say that, but like I went to classes and tried to make the the professor.
Internship. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's this. And then so I asked them what what they like the most to eat, and what they dislike the most to eat. And when I told them, what do you like the most to eat, like I have two answers, like pizza and burgers. And when I ask them, what do you don't like the most, I had actually 26 different answers. And I mean, that's why in life you really need to know that it's you don't have to be afraid when you don't know something, but try to define what you really don't like so you can define what you like. So that's why I really interested about metal, because I thought, okay, I don't think I like it. And I was in a metal concert and I never saw something like that. I mean, I never saw such good connection between the artists and the people and the public. Like they are jumping, they are really like there is something really strong. I mean, even if the song didn't touch me, I was really touched by the reaction of the people. They were so happy, they were living their best life. So I think so that's those moments that inspires me, and also movies. Sorry, next question. I'm not gonna
No, no,
finish.
no.
No, I think everyone is loving it, including the chat. I think they said I could listen to him talking all
Yeah, yeah.
your president and stuff like that. But Katie, have you got any more questions from the chat?
Yeah, I've got hundreds. And anyone want to go to bed tonight, because there's so many? So this is an interesting one. We're a bit biased, but do you think that our scoreboard, so the Eurovision Hub scoreboard winner, of which you are it, would have been representative, a true representative of the actual scoreboard in Rotterdam?
We got it right last year, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duncan
We actually predicted it last year, just so you know.
Oh.
We actually got first and second right last year, didn't we?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, crazy. So, like, you mean if I have to trust your results? That's the
Yeah.
question. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you knew about my dream, and you knew that when I was a child, I was like with my trophy, and I was like, yeah, I won. I want to thank my parents. So honestly, I don't know. I mean, I'm really happy when I saw the video. I was really happy to be the winner, but I was much more happy to see the reaction of people about the song. And I also like, and I have a crazy I have a crazy mother who watched all the reaction before me when it posted directly, and she told me, look at this one, please translate me what he's telling me about, like, and like that's so cute. And I mean, like, that's so crazy to see people, and they are like, I'm crying, look, I'm crying. And like I mean, that's the most important thing for me. And to know that I was the winner was I was proud for that, but it wasn't like my biggest dream. My biggest dream was just like to see people happy with what I did, and that was the case. So yes.
Yes.
I saw a question about languages, and I thought it would interest you as well, Katie. So, Gjon, I understand you obviously are in Switzerland, but you also have quite an interesting European background. How many languages do you speak?
I mean, I try to speak the languages, but like as you can see in English, for example, it's really hard for me.
It's very good.
It's really good.
I think you're doing great.
Thank you. I just try, but like so at school I had to learn German, so ich kann also ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen, aber mehr auf Deutsch. So I can speak more in German than in English, because I've learned first German before English, and I have I have Albanian roots, so I can speak Albanian because of my parent. And I mean, Albanian and Kosovo is Albanian for both, but there is some dialects. So I just try to speak as good as I can, but it's hard because I'm like one word from this dialect, one from the good language, then from another dialect, and I'm like, whoa! But at least everyone understand me, and I understand everyone, so that's cool.
There was a
Yeah.
that came after that, which was, so you already speak those languages, but just in case you fancy learning another one, is there another language, or do you think there's a more useful language or another one that you think would complete the set? Someone asked that question.
So I mean, oh, that's a crazy
Irish.
question. You have always good questions, Katie. I mean you find the good questions to ask me. Yes. Like crazy. I don't know. Like I really love languages, and I like the fact that for me we are like people before being from like before that having a nationality. That was also the theme of the song. Because when I was younger, people asked me about my name. Oh, it's not a Swiss name. Where does it come from? And are you Swiss or are you Albanian? You have to choose. And I was like, why I have to choose? And then it was strange because like um, when I saw the passport, I was Swiss, but when I was at home, I have Albanian parents. They speak Albanian and also with us French. But like I was like. Why like I don't know, and I was really I think I have a lot of troubles time because I really tried to choose, like okay, I need to choose because everybody tells me to choose. Okay, maybe it's important, I have to choose that. And I just understood like so late that um like nationality is nothing. I mean, for me, honestly, maybe for you it's something really important, but like for me it's nothing important because like um they have so they we have so many other things that are more important, like values and like feeling the people with who you are speaking with before knowing that they are from Switzerland or they are from but at the same time I'm not saying that it's not important to have roots. I mean, that's so good for me. Like I'm so happy to have those different kind way to think about life because they are completely different. I mean, Switzerland and Kosovo are not like there is not the same life conditions and not the same conditions of so there are different kind of mind, like kind of think about life. So that's so important to have that, and I'm so happy that I've got Albanian roots. So that was the subject of the song. I mean, it was important for me to understand that um, I don't have to be ashamed by my roots, but I also don't need to choose where I am from. But because at least I'm a European, or I am just someone. I mean, I'm just someone, and I'm not just from a country. So to answer your question, that was hard because, like, honestly, I love every languages, and I'm lucky because I travel a lot. So, so. Wow. Okay. So I when I was with Sasha and she spoke Swedish, I was like, wow. I was like, oh my god, what language? And I was like, she was speaking with aliens, and I was like, oh my god, I want to know that. And crazy. No, I mean, like there are so many. Like since I was a kid, I always dreamed to live in Norway and in Sweden. Like I don't know why. I always tell my mom, "Okay, I want to go there. I want to go there." And actually, never was there. I have so much possibility to go there, but I don't know why. I'm waiting really for the good time where I go there and for living there. So I don't know why, but since I was a kid, um, I think now, because you ask me now, and like maybe tomorrow it will be another answer. But now the language I want to learn is oh my god, I don't know how to say that. Is uh, um, language signs.
Sign language.
Yeah,
Ah,
That's a good
I
answer.
really would like.
That
I
is a
really
good
would
answer.
like. I really would like to learn this because it's more with feeling and it's another way to speak with people. and it's also something so important to make feel people just equal, and that's important for me. Yes.
That's a good choice.
But I have to learn English first because I cannot do interview like
You
this.
already speak English.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Louise.
Katie, go ahead.
No, I was going to say there's a question that's related to that, but if you want to move us on to something else first, then that's absolutely fine.
I think let's take one more question and then we'll have a quick move along.
Okay, just because this is related to it. Someone said, do you think that your mixed heritage, that growing up in Switzerland but with Albanian roots, has actually helped in any way to contribute towards your artistic style or your creativity?
Yeah, completely. I mean, but actually, I don't have parents that listen to Albanian music. Like they listen a lot of, I mean, I have one song that I've listened all my childhood, and it was, that's funny because like that's really actual, but that was the song of Corona, The Rhythm of the Night.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I like that was my I mean that was the favorite song of my mother because like every day, and I saw videos when we were child, when I was like with my brother when we were like maybe 2 and 5, something like this. I just like there is always this song, and it's really funny because actually I was really calm when I was young. When I was a baby, I was like this. If you put me on the on the bed, I was like staying this for hours. If you don't go to take me, I was really calm and really like yeah, and my brother was the opposite, but like he had a microphone, a plastic microphone. He was singing all the time, like all the time. And it's funny because now we changed it, and now that's my turn to sing, and then he makes sports. But yeah, so like of course, even if I didn't have really the heritage of Albanian music, I mean, I become more interesting Albanian music those 3 or 4 last years. And I mean, when I finished my TV show when I was 12, I told to myself, okay, now you just showed yourself all the time since for 4 years or for 5 years. Now you really need to know how you are, because actually when I finished the show at 12, I had a proposition from Sony, so to make an album, but like I was really young, and I was lucky to have like to have my parent that supports me and told me, okay, like now just focus on school and just live your life as a teenager. And I didn't want actually to go with an album because I knew it won't be me, because I didn't know what kind of music I was doing. So I just took this time from 12 till 18 just to hear songs. I didn't sing. I mean, I was just listen to every song, every type of songs. And yeah, so I think from 12 to 18, that was the moment when I really discovered my heritage. But I mean, of course, that helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a great question. Whoever sent that in, thank
Yeah.
you. Really,
Thank
really
you for those questions. Yeah, thank you to everyone who is here first, and thank you for all your crazy questions.
yeah.
Thank you for being here. I think we're definitely really enjoying all of the answers and getting a good insight into the songwriting and into your background. It's just really, really refreshing just to hear so much. It's just great.
And so wise. Such a young person, yet so wise. You know, his answers are like so elaborate and wise.
Yeah,
Can I
not too
ask
much.
another question? Can I ask another question now to go back to Eurovision? So what is it like for you now to be on the inside? And what I mean by that is just getting to know the Euro fan base, the other artists. You know, this is a whole community, and how have you received that? How do you feel about that? And what it's like to be on the inside now, inside the Eurovision family?
You mean how is it to have such a big community and like How
Yes.
do I organize all of that? Or
Yes. So my question is, now that you are on the inside, so before that you said you followed it for a little bit in the early 2010s, and now you've come back to it as an insider. Actually, now you are inside the competition itself, and you are part of the community, and all the reaction videos are from the Euro fans. And how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you are part of a family? How does it feel?
I really feel how can I say that? Like I really feel like there are circle and circle. Do you know the video clip of Mad Word? The song Mad Word from Mary Jules. There are those kids that they are taking their hands each other and they're making circle. And I really feel myself like I'm in the center of those circles. Like, and they and all people will come to me and make a big hug. I'm feeling I'm feeling really loved and really supported. So that's like the best feeling I can have. Like, I mean, that's crazy. Love you so much, Manya.
And that's exactly, I think, the feeling that the Eurovision fans are trying to convey to all artists, even like if they finish last or if they finish, I don't know, if they get disqualified or whatever. We still follow all of the artists and we love them for their music and for their artistry. And we just will always appreciate them. But when it comes to you, I think winning Eurovision twice in a row is in your cards. Because you already won this Eurovision. That's what I'm going with. So, are you ready for my third musical challenge?
Oh my God! Is that a blind test?
No, it's just so now that we've come full circle back to Eurovision. So I have the reason why I thought you would win this year, and I'm pretty like 100% certain, is because I have a scientific proof. How, you ask? Well, there were like the first ever Eurovision winner was, of course, Switzerland, and 32 years later, Celine Dion won. And now we are 32 years later, and I'm 100% sure. It's science. It's solid. Okay, it's science.
It's a prophecy.
Yeah, exactly. So can you sing a little bit, since you are in Celine Dion mood these days? Can you sing a little bit of the last Swiss winner?
Oh my God! But I think I have to do.
I know you have to do it for the Eurovision Song Contest channel, but just a little, just a little, just
but I'm
the
not
chorus.
ready. Okay, let's do this. Okay, do you still see me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm looking for the song, the chords, so it will be better.
John Dion, I think your stage name should be.
And then I will have some question for you as well. I think now I
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see if you're working well or not. But I'm sure you are working well. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Crazy chords. Who is the composer?
You can do it a cappella. Yeah.
Vous qui cherchez l'étoile, vous qui vivez en rêve. Let's not know this. I honestly need to learn the song better because I don't really like. Of course, I know the song, but like I just know. Ne partez pas sans moi, laissez-moi vous suivre. Vous qui volez vers d'autres vies, laissez-moi like I really need like to learn the song. Like, that's a little bit like.
Thank you. I know we will get an exclusive on the Eurovision channel, but thank you for doing it for us.
Yeah, we need a influence for Odysseus. They're dying of happiness right now.
Sorry?
Someone ambulance because I'm dying of happiness.
That's so funny. Oh, crazy. But actually, do you know? I will tell you something. Like, do you know the story? Do you know the story about the winning of Céline Dion? Actually.
No, what's the story?
Uh-huh.
Oh, there is a book.
Yeah, there is a book that exists just in French, but actually there is a crazy story behind the prophecy. I mean, if you speak about prophecy, like, actually, I just have to find the page so I can really say it well. But
story time with Gjon.
So
story time, yes.
That's not this. Where it's the story. That's not this. I will find the story. Don't worry.
There is so much love coming your way from the chat.
Yeah.
I also have to say the Celine Dion cover kind of got me because it made me think of my mammy. My mammy loves Celine Dion.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
I actually watched that originally when she sang it. So that's my era.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Like you were there. I mean, like you were on the public.
No, I wasn't there live. I was just
she was
there.
alive. She was alive.
But I was
I was 2 years too late for that.
I mean, there is a crazy story. I just like looking for the exactly how to tell you the best way, because if it's just translating, it's better than trying to tell the story. But so you have also the influences, like also the exactly the names, and you have like the témoignage. But that's I mean that's a crazy story because it's also like prophecy, and like that's the but that's why I'm not finding it. I'm not in the good year. Oh, when does she won? I'm lost now.
1988.
88.
No.
Yeah, 1988. Yeah.
In Dublin, Ireland.
I was in 89. Exactly. I was like, why is she not here? Okay, sorry for that.
Yeah, that was Yugoslavia. You know how I imagined Eurovision 2021? So Gjon had won, and Celine Dion came for the interval act.
Crazy. Crazy.
That was my Eurovision.
So I found the story now. I have it.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So the fate of the story. That's the most incredible story, because like the singer, the Israeli singer Yardena Arazi, who also was the commentator. I mean, like she present in 1979, had like accepted to represent her country, but just if she win, like she just want to do it if she's the winner. Otherwise, she don't want to do Eurovision. And so that's why she will go to this girl that read in cards and in how do you say that?
The clairvoyant.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortune teller.
With the ball.
Yeah, exactly, with the ball and everything. And like she like to be sure that she's gonna win. And like
with Celine Dion, Celine went to a fortune teller.
No, the Israeli.
Yeah, wait. Yeah.
From 79.
Okay.
and the clairvoyant told to her, the person who will sing at the ninth place will be the winner. Like
Oh,
the ninth
SWAT.
contestant,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, will be the winner. And actually, she was the ninth. She didn't know first, but then when the Eurovision was organized and everything, she was the ninth to pass.
Oh.
And but at the last moment, the Cyprus song that has to pass for the second place had been disqualified because the song was published before the Eurovision, like many years before. So the numbers have changed, and the Yardena Arazi became not the ninth but the eighth one, and Celine Dion, who was the 10th one, became the ninth one, and she won Eurovision.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Crazy,
Oh my gosh.
that's just crazy. Like I love those kind of story behind. So that's why now I really like, there are so big French artists in the Eurovision that took part before, and so that's so amazing to know those kind of history. There is also another crazy history about France Gall. I don't know if you know her,
She was
but
a winner, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She was the winner, and like when first she sang the song, the musician,
Poupelle something.
yeah, Poupée de
Yeah,
cire, Poupée de son.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
uh, when she made the first time the song, she played it on live, so with the musicians, because it was on live with musicians. Actually, the musicians were doing like, "Ooh, it's just shit. This song is bad," and they didn't want to play it actually. So it was hard because she felt really bad and she didn't want to sing because she was like, "Oh." Like she was like "Oh, that's not a good idea to sing this song." And actually she was also in couple with a really big famous singer. The singer, a French singer who his name Claude François, and this singer actually composed My Way, and he composed it in French. And Frank Sinatra has heard the song, like he has heard the success of the song in France, and he told like, okay, I want this song, and he sang the song, and so he made it worldly famous. And like he was really, so you can see the how he was famous. And France Gall was in her beginning, and actually Claude François was really jealous, and he didn't want that her girlfriend participates in the Eurovision contest. And so she, at least after a lot of issues because musicians were like really hating the song, um, finally she won. She did it, and directly when she won, she she went to the phone, and she called like her boyfriend Claude François, and she told him, "I won, uh, and I'm so happy. Are you happy for me?" And he told her, "You have won today the Eurovision Song Contest, but you have lost my heart forever."
No.
And and she has to return on stage and like to thank everybody. So she returned it, and she was completely crying and devastated, and everybody thought that it was because she was really happy to win the prize, but actually she was just heartbroken. And then the next day she directly go home, and she has a conference in Paris, but she missed it. She didn't want to go there, and she went home directly to his boyfriend house. And it was night, and then she rang the bell, and he didn't like answered. She find a neighbor to open the door, and she slept in front of the door of her apartment, like when you where you clean your foot, she slept there.
Yeah, yeah. On the
and
welcome mat.
and she waited all the night to opening the door. And then in the middle of the night he opened the door at least. But like, it's crazy to know that, fate is so beautiful, like so intense, and you can be the winner of Eurovision, but the next day you are a human, and like you're sleeping in front of your door. And so like there are so crazy stories. Like they really need to do well. They really need to do the book in English because I know that they didn't have to do it. Like, but like it's just.
Show the book. I love it. Yeah. Can you imagine a Eurovision hub series where he tells stories every week?
Yes.
It's like glasses.
Bed.
Next to a fireplace, you know.
With a fire, some.
Yeah, I imagine. I imagine it.
Okay, so yeah, any last questions for Gjon before he heads off and before we head off?
And while they're writing their questions, you said you had questions for us.
Oh no, it was those. I mean, did you know those?
Did we know that? Oh, okay.
Oh, that was fantastic. Thank you so much. Did not know that.
Yeah. I hope Friends Go got a better boyfriend after that. Someone that respected her more and supported her more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this one. Question for Gjon. If you could collaborate with any Eurovision artist, who would it be and why?
Wait. Yeah, and Caddy?
This is a personal question. I started to learn the piano last year, so quite late in life. And I did really well initially, and then it got harder, and I was struggling to practice. I'm doing well again now because we're home a lot of the time, so I've got more time to practice. But is that normal that you struggle? You get to a point and you struggle because your pieces are getting harder and harder, and they take longer to learn. I've never learned a musical instrument before, so I'm just asking for some advice. Is that normal, and how do you overcome those times when it's really hard?
I mean, that's just crazy. Like, you really have to feel. I mean, the piano. If you really like it, you will find the motivation to do it. But of course, it's hard. And please imagine that the piano is hard. Okay, but you have notes when you push the button. When it's guitar, you're bleeding till it's really working and you have sound. Yeah, it's awful.
I had
and when it's violin, it's also awful because like it sounds really bad. Maybe the 4 or 5 next first year before it sounds really like something. You know. So like, I mean, it's really it's really hard to start an instrument, but I mean, it's never too late. And also it's like even if you don't like, even if it looks too complicated, maybe just start with something you really want to know. For example, even if it's not the procedure, because first, normally, if you want to play piano, you have to learn classical music and so on, and those stuff. Just enjoy. And I mean, like, take a song that you like. For example, for me, it was "Can't Help Falling in Love," and I first started to sing with this song, and then it makes me more interested about a lot of other songs. But of course, in the beginning, it's hard, and I mean, you really need to be patient. And if you don't, actually, I'm not at all. But like, you like to be what? Rude.
I like to be good. And the problem is, it's like learning a language. It takes time. It's practice. And sometimes I just want to be able to play. And I know I have to do the learning bit.
But actually, you have chosen the best instrument if you want to see your results. Because as I told you, violin and guitar are so complicated that you need. Of course, you can do some chords with guitar, but you're like, with the guitar, the problem is like you always feel in a box. Like you really need to learn everything before really playing well. And the piano, you don't need that. You can learn some partitions and play it really well, but not playing. If I ask you now, just make me something improvisation, you will not do it. You're not closed in a box. You have much more possibilities with the piano. So if you want to see your results and if you want to be good, you had chosen the really best instrument ever, I mean.
Okay.
And for the song with who I want to collaborate, the most important thing, I always ask that myself also. I was like, oh, with who I want to work, and I realized that I want to work with, in the same time, with everybody and nobody, because like at the end, I understood that I just need to feel people with who I'm working with, because maybe I'm a big fan of Mariah Carey, I don't know, and like and when I will meet her, I will be really like, oh no, I don't want to work with her, even if the voice, even if it's incredible, that doesn't matter for me. You can have the most beautiful voice, but if you don't feel each other, we will not work together. And I mean, that's the most important thing. But of course, there are all artists that I really want to work with, but it's like, for me, working with, it's not completely duet. It's like working with, it's like maybe composing a song with someone, or like take part of a concept, I don't know, like the video. I'm so like, my first passion is like movies, because now singing and music is not my passion, it's my work, so it's not the same at all. Because when you understand that it's maybe 5 or 10% of singing and 90% of administrations, it's not the same at all. So and yeah, like when I see like movies, and when I like, I really want to be part of it, and it gives me so much inspiration, because I believe more in pictures than in words. So I think yeah, of course I would like to collaborate with artists, but it depends on what. Maybe, for example, for paintings, or for acting, or for theater, because I love playing, and like yeah, it depends on what. But and it was with a Eurovision artist. I saw that in the question. With the Eurovision artist, if I can find someone, I mean, someone who I found really interesting in the sound, and something I can really do it, like, I mean, about to do it. Uh, I uh, I think that the best person with who I'm gonna work uh, the best way is Go A. Even if it's not my favorite song, like, I mean, I understand this Balkanic culture with the sound, with the voice sound, and I think that I know more things in this direction than, for example, in in um, in Think About Things. Think About Things, I love this song, and I love the word of this song, and I really want it to work. Like, if I could sing with them, I would be so happy to just chill with them, and like laughing with them. But I mean, I don't know them, and when you met an artist, you completely change your way to think about things. because like because like because like I worked with Mika, and it wasn't at all as I expected, and I saw different artists. I also like I sang in the Montreux Jazz Festival. That's the biggest festival in Switzerland. And when I sang my song Bobby, Quincy Jones told me, "Hey, your range is like so crazy. I love your voice." And then after me, I speak with this singer that was not so famous at that time. And then here we hear about her everything. I mean, Lizzo, when I hear her, like, when I heard um, her singing, I was like, oh my god! Like, she sang on a jam for 4 hours, and she sang, but like, she has her cocktail there, and she was like, okay, somewhere over the rainbow, those kind of a little bit vibey moment. But like that's so, like, I mean, the most important thing is to feel the artist with who you're working with, and that's much more important than the voice or something like this. Because at the end, when you feel someone, you always have a result. You always have something you like, because you like the collaboration. So yeah,
It's all about the
I think
energy.
I answered.
I think we're going to
Belgium.
wrap up pretty soon, but I just wanted to ask.
We are, yes.
So-
but- oh, we have is that French there from
Yeah.
Korea.
Yeah, I think it's one of yours. It's one of your.
Yeah.
I saw it.
It's one of ours.
Well, yeah, and he's telling me that he really wants to thank me for the beautiful song I've did, and for my crazy artistic talent, and that the Belgium is like loves me.
Loves you.
That's so cute. Thank you, but next time maybe you can give me your 12 points, okay? and not just telling me that I'm good, okay?
Yes, you said it. You said it. You know, they talk the talk, but they walk the walk.
I'm kidding.
Have a group.
Oh,
Shit.
Oh, I don't listen to you. Wait, Miceal, sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, we have a group chat, like all the team, and I think Tone is gonna die after this. I told you guys.
You've been called out.
He roasted me.
Guys, can we do a little pose so that we can screenshot and make a photograph for like our Instagram? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Cool.
Panic.
So much. Oh, Sandra.
Thanks to you.
Can I ask for one more thing?
Go on, Sandra.
Let's go.
You make
Sorry?
Look how nervous he looks.
Yeah.
Like,
So my last challenge for you, Gjon, is can you give us a little taste of Babi?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. M'amore papi naktan yega papi ana papintin. M'amore papi naktan yega papi ana papintin.
Now, isn't that another winner? Isn't that another winner? Come on, tell me it isn't. Come on.
Merci.
Thank you for your time, and yeah, thank you for everything. I mean, like, that's cool to have this support, and like that's really necessary for me, because when I'm doubting or when I have some bad comments and people that hate me, that write me, that's always good to remind that there are also people who like me, and like they show me that they like me. So that's cool. Thank you for
We
everything.
don't like you. We adore you.
We're here for you.
Thank
We're here for you
Can I
next year.
say, I'm really sorry we didn't get through everyone's questions, but this seriously, it was question after question after question. So maybe we can forward them to you, and you can answer them in your story in your own time.
Actually, I'm trying to understand to every demand on Instagram and like mails, but that's like so many that it's like
I can imagine.
it's I never will finish, or maybe in 10 years.
Yeah, one of those messages was mine, so feel free to ignore.
Thank you.
I already said everything I wanted to say here.
And thank you to everyone who's watching, questions. Thank you guys. Thank you, Gjon. And yeah, see you later.
Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.
Bye.